Afternoon. Well, the plan today was to come across on the kayak, or get dropped off at Kempston on the kayak and paddle down to the campsite. And the forecast wasn't that great today. Rain, wind, going to be 30-mile-an-hour gusts. So, and to be fair, I saw a couple of days ago the river. Yeah, it was showing up on the sewerage. The E. coli was quite bad, apparently. So not great at Kempston. So I thought, oh well, I'll pay for the campsite anyway. I might as well get a train down into Bedford and walk. Should be nice. Shouldn't be a bad walk, hopefully. Weather will stay off. It's meant to be showers, so we'll see how it goes. River looks okay at the moment. It is a bit overcast. River don't look too bad. It is a bit drafty. I probably would have had a tailwind all the way down there. You can see it's blowing in places. The flags are going well. I say it's not too far along here. I think I've got about a 5-6 mile walk. Might not even be that far. Just more or less following the old railway line, Bedford Cambridge railway line, which is now a cycle route. Well, that's a picture of the new planned route from Milton Keynes to Bedford, if they ever decide to get it going. And they're running it round the bottom of Pt1 Station, so there'll be a few locks going in there to get it round. The plan before was to come across, follow the side of the road, I think. Possibly along the side of the railway underneath. It follows the railway through Brogborough Hill. Interesting to know. Been a few different routes on that lately. Heading for Willington, Route 51. This is where it becomes the old track bed. Bedford to Cambridge, or Bletchley, Cambridge, Oxford line. They are planning to reopen a bit from what is a line now in place from Oxford to Bletchley, but currently it's not being used by passenger trains because there's a union dispute on about guards. The train companies want to run no guard, just driver only trains, and the unions are saying they need the guard for security, so it's still not going. It's supposed to have started in January, but it's still going in place. But there's a lot more freight trains going across that route now. Living right next to the line in Fenny Stratford, there where we started from, You do notice a lot more trains going across. This bit of route they're not going to build on, they're not going to use, I don't think. I think the plan is to go out north of Bedford into Cambridge via Huntingdon. I don't think this route's feasible going this way for some reason. Although the track bed's in place most of the way, right through Sandy. It's currently a cycle route. Whether they'd allow it to go back to a railway, no idea. Although there is houses built on the line, on the old track, I think at Blenheim, that sort of area. So whether it's possible they compulsory purchase the places, not sure. It makes a nice track to cycle on if you're heading for Sandy. Head out that, we've ridden that a few times. We've headed that way for coffee. It's a nice route out and back. Make it about 100 kilometres. That's not too bad. Of course it's not too bad to walk either. Make sure there's nothing in the way. Not that you can see this map very well because of all the muck on it. We are currently here. If you'd have come on the kite, you'd have come round this way, of course. Up round there. And the campsite is in this area over here. But my route's going to be along the old railway track to get to it. Come on the kite, you go past Cardington Lock, Castle Mill Lock, then you come back in on this stream here to the campsite. This is a non-navigation part of the river. As you see on that map, it would have been around the south side of Priory Park. I think that's part of the, I'd have been paddling down if I'd have come on the kayak. Another railway bridge, of course. Come down that way. That bit there is apparently called the New Cut. It was built to stop Priory Park flooding and flooding this railway line. Just read the sign back there, said coal trains used to use it quite regular up until the power station at Goldington was demolished around about the mid-80s. Weather's been pretty good so far. I was expecting it to rain, of course. Looks a bit grey over the back there, but I'm over halfway there now. Still a bit drafty. I think now if I was on the water, now you got out of Bedford around this side, it has opened up a bit. As you get out of the shelter, probably gets a bit blowy along the river. Doesn't matter. I'll get nights camping. Doesn't matter what way I choose to get there, so night under canvas is always great. Just follow the railway line. Silent monkey. Oh well, apparently he gets out here from Milton Keynes as well. Anyone doesn't realise, silent monkey is an anagram of Milton Keynes. Heading out into the open countryside slightly. Once we cross the A421 Bedford bypass. Not far to go now. What have I done? I've only done 5 kilometres. I think it's that probably a kilometre or so to go. It wasn't as far as I thought it would be. Muggy though. Might be because I've got this fleece on still. I put it on to start with. I can be asked to take the rucksack off to take it off again, so I'm warm. But the wind hasn't really come up. Not like it's meant to be. Nor the rain, so that's good. Driven along that road a few times. Grange Estate was once owned by Bryans and May, who planted poplar trees during the 60s for matchstick production. That's why the bit further down where we're camping is called Matchstick Wood. It was Bryant and May, I thought it was. Looks a nice walk round that side. I'm going to go this way for now. It's not too far away, but it's slightly quicker. Got 3 litres of water in my rucksack and 3 cans of cider, so it's a little bit heavy with the food as well. Only one night, but I might walk back out that way and come back round that side in the morning. Slightly different route back. It's not a lot of difference. I'm now at 6 kilometres. The campsite is just the other end of these woods. It's probably only 10 minutes away. I'm on a bad little walk. Lovely being out in the trees and the nature again. Still hear the road in the distance, but just the sound of the birds. Wait till the morning when dawn chorus. Probably sound amazing up here in the woods. I just love being outside. Well, I found my place in the woods here. A little small tiny place. Facilities. There's a toilet over there. Right, let's get the rucksack off. What a nice little quiet area in the woods. It's a semi-wild campsite. There's pitches, like you see this one says Ellie's Place. There's various pitches, staff pitches. There are composting type toilets or long drop toilets in the middle of the woods. This place is run by the Canoe Trail at Bedford. They do trips here at weekends and all sorts of stuff. River's not far away. I think there's a pontoon further down. I'll go and have a look at that later on. But it's a nice little place. It costs £16 to camp here midweek. If you do it weekends, I think they can put tents up and supply everything. Supply the Canadian type canoes. You can paddle down from Kempston. They do the whole package. And I think that's nearer the £90-100 mark. But I didn't look at that because in the week you can get a pitch here for £16. And it's sort of supposedly just like camping in the woods. I mean, I could do it cheaper if I wanted to just pitch up anywhere. Which is possible, which I did when I was doing the Green Sand Ridge walk. But I saw this. I thought it could be quite fun. I intend to come back. But again, what the plan was with the kayak. I've got to wander down later on and see what their pontoon's like and what the level of the water's like. So it's not too bad. I'll get my tent set up. You could probably even use hammocks in there quite easily. There's plenty of bit of a big tree across there. You could probably string a hammock between that one and that one, that one and that one. That is the access path just behind it. I think the Canoe Trail guys are about somewhere, because their Land Rover and Canoe Trailer is up the top there. So, but that doesn't look too bad. Get myself set up. Well, it sort of works. Hasn't got the hook on the guy line. The little cockpit inside it, and also with that hook up there means I haven't got a pole stuffed up the middle of it. Gives me a bit more room. Looks a bit. It does look a bit odd and out of shape. But it's a shelter and it'll work. Wonderful. So, well, let's get all the rest of it set up. That's more or less everything out of my rucksack now. It's not too bad. Let's say it works all right. If you saw it, if that video all right, you've got the flex tail. It's the Tiny Pump 3. Works brilliantly. Obviously, inflating that only takes a minute or so. And it's got lights on it as well, which is later. I'll have later on. Get it to work. So many different modes. Nice little one, bit brighter. Obviously super bright. I'll hook that up to my tent later on. So I'll have some light here. I think I'm going to get me table set up. Maybe have a cup of coffee and chill for 5 minutes. Getting the kayak in and out. So next time, if I come up in next time, I do plan to kayak in and camp. Lovely little location. You can't hear the road at all. We're only across the other side of the river and out a little bit. But the trees are making it great. You can hardly hear anything. Apart from the nature and birds. I said earlier on, it's great just to be sat outside. Love the outdoors, brilliant. That's quite a nice little setup round there. Echo camp. Let's go through this way. Suppose I could look at the map and see where it is. Oh, it's down there. Let's turn it off a minute. Well, the pontoon was down there. As soon as I walked down there was a group, DFE, a group of girls coming off. So I was chatting to the lady who works for the Canoe Trail. Obviously didn't film anything down there with all the Duke of Edinburgh children. So I'll go back up to my end of the campsite, leave them to it. I knew there was someone down there because of the canoe trail, the canoe trailer up at the other end. So at least I know where that is now to get in. She said the river was quite good, a bit shallow in places, but they managed to paddle up through there. She said you're going to come past later on with the van, so I'll hear the van go past later. Got to find my way back into where my tent is now. I think it's just a bit further up here, I think. Probably why they pitched me right up this end, or booked me in when I booked in right at this end of the campsite. Obviously, if there's children at the other end, you can't be too close to everybody. I'm up here somewhere. Can't find my pitch now. Oh, there's another deer up there. There's my tent down there. In the middle. That's not too bad. When that fire goes out, I'll probably zip myself in, listen to a podcast, and see how it goes. So, a bit of rain due overnight. But we're bugger all today though, compared to the forecast we had earlier on. It shouldn't be too bad tonight. I'll say, when that fire's gone, I'll zip myself in case anything exciting happens. I'll see you all in the morning.